What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Rep Sports Wrap It Up. Almost said Ruckus Wrestling because I keep saying those two things in my head. But that's tomorrow. Tonight, we've got the lovely soul and my boy Tushka. How are y'all doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Doing good once I get the right shows in my brain. But when you do like 7 shows a week, stuff happens. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it.
Josh works very hard, guys.
And party's very hard too, right? Trivia night. What's up, bub?
Yeah. Anyway, so we've got a lot of sports to cover. Tomorrow is not opening day, but it is the kickoff of March Madness. The tournament officially starts tomorrow with Louisville Creighton at 12:15 Eastern, 11:15 Central. Thus, I hope all of your brackets are good. My apologies to the Ruckus Discord Nation. I just posted the bracket challenge, but please, everyone. Yeah, I did.
I'm doing it.
Okay. So I posted that there. Please, everyone, join in down Discord down below. We'd always love to have you on there so we can talk crap to each other. Especially, it's just going to happen where Soul beats me in the bracket challenge every year. Because, I watch all the stuff, and she was like casually like, oh, yeah, it's on. That team's going to win.
And I don't even win. It's just that I'm better than Josh.
Yeah. It's just how it is. Yeah. I think the closest I've ever gotten to win a bracket challenge was the Oscars. So, like, non-sports related.
And I beat you there, too.
Yeah.
I actually won that one.
Yeah. So, just like, whatever. But speaking about who's beating people and how you can gain advantage of rules, let's go into some rules proposed because it's about that time for Huck It, Chuck It, football in the NFL's rules, at least things that they're going to discuss about. So one of the things they're trying to possibly eliminate the automatic first down as a penalty imposed for defensive holding in illegal contact, which I've never seen that been a huge issue. Maybe this is the Kansas City Chiefs get all the calls and bullshit stuff. I don't have a problem with that rule. No one's ever had a problem with that rule. It's not going to change. Now, they're going to try and outrule the tush push. Here's the thing. It can be stopped. You're just not the Philadelphia Eagles. That's the issue. If you don't think the tush push can be stopped, ask the Buffalo Bills. They can't figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. People are now like the Baltimore Ravens were putting Mark Andrews behind center just to do it. Mm-hmm. So like, just because you can't do it doesn't mean you should ban it. And no one is getting gruesomely hurt either. So until someone gets out for the season or something of that nature, I'm sorry, you're just not as good as someone else at that play.
The center is getting absolutely devastated.
Oh yes, there's a reason Jason Kelsey's like, I'm out.
He's like, did they ban it yet? Nope. One more year. I'm good, guys. Bye.
I'm good.
Can go do a podcast on my own show and everything.
Yeah. Tushka, any other those are the two big rules that kind of stuck out to me that have been proposed. I mean, obviously people are the most talked about one is really the tush push situation, which the illegal contact crap, like they hardly really call that anyway. Like really the only egregious one, and it was true, was the defensive holding in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago for the Philadelphia. That was called on the Philadelphia Eagles. You held. I don't know what to tell. And guess what? 5 yards later, they were still going to kick the field goal. So it wasn't like a big thing. It might have been a clock management, but they were still going to kick the field goal, and they're probably still going to win. So I don't see any issue with that.
Yeah. And holding happens every damn play.
It's just a matter not if it's egregious enough.
Yeah, but back to your question, though. I think it's just interesting that the Detroit Lions are all over this, as if it's like a 2025 plan for the Lions to game the system and win once they get in office. It's weird how it's Lions, Green Bay, Lions. But actually looking at some of these, the one where the regular season by the Philadelphia Eagles, the regular season overtime be the same as playoffs, I'm for it. I'm for more football, for one. I know that there's television contracts still at play. I keep forgetting that there is television. I actually took a survey today that said, basically, do I have a hard time focusing when reading the newspaper or watching TV? And I was like, no, because I haven't done that shit in 10 years. So if anybody's complaining about those contracts and it's going to bleed into my NCIS, who cares? Get a streaming service, watch NCIS whenever the fuck you want, Dad. No, I'm kidding. I love you, but no, it's just one of those things that I'm all for overtime. Yeah. Yeah, and your dad too. That's right.
No, my dad does. My dad actually follows that. He watches everything on streaming.
Yeah.
Commercials, what are those? They don't exist anymore.
I tried for 2 years to get my parents to cut the cord, and then my cousin was just like, "Hey, by the way, you should do this." Like, "Oh, Josh, did you know about this?" I'm like, "What have I been telling you for the past 2 years?"
Yeah. Oh, that's such a novel idea. I'm
Such
so
a novel
glad you
idea.
thought of it.
It's like, and they were like, "Well, can you set it up?" I'm like, "What do you think I've been telling you for 2 years? I know I'm the one that has to set it all up. It's fine. Love you guys." But that just that PTSD just got back to me real quick. On that.
This is the clip, by the way. We're all bitching about TV and cutting the cord with our parents and family.
My favorite is my dad's just like, "Who is the friend of yours that we have their Paramount login for?" And I'm like, "Tushka." So my dad uses all of Tushka's logins. My dad uses them all day.
Yeah. But back to the NFL. Back to Hugger Checker football. It's just overtime. Just do it. I mean, it was dumb that they changed it to where it was not a decisive winner.
Right.
And I mean, luckily we didn't have too many draws in the regular season. I think we had maybe on average 3 or 4 games a year. But it still happens, and it's not that big of an issue to get rid of it. I think it's just going to make more exciting football. You're going to have a little bit more clarity on who's the decisive winner that day, and not necessarily who ran out of time or is just not going to be able to get the ball in their hands because of the current rule set. So I don't have an issue. Sol, do you have an issue with more Dolphin football?
Not really.
No.
As long as they don't ban actually touching butts, then we're good. The touch push. Gotta touch them butts, right?
You're supposed to push. Oh, my bad.
At one point, there was a rule where you couldn't like a lineman could not push a player forward. They used to actually, and then they were like, "No, just let us have." Because in NCAA football, way back when, it was the Bush push because of Reggie Bush against Notre Dame. It's a very infamous game, and it's clear as day. And it was supposed to be illegal, but they didn't.
I feel like that would actually push them in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're that wrong.
Yeah, there you go. This isn't a show for kids, guys. We're after safe harbor hours, okay? If kids don't know what those are, look on Wikipedia. It was a thing that they've been doing for decades.
Are we on nights and weekend minutes right now?
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyway. Anything else you see, Josh? Sorry. I know I kept distracting it a little bit, but anything you see as far as these rule changes or proposed rule changes?
No, because there's so few games, and you really can't push. I know owners want to have more games and more of this, and players really don't want it. The contracts compared to MLB and NBA, or that you see that are just fully guaranteed, and a lot of these players are only in the league for so long, they have to conserve as much as they can. So as much as I love football, I think they finally got it right as far as the season is concerned. As a fan, more football. But tying in football, it's just so sacrilegious. It just doesn't seem right. Soccer makes sense. There's enough games. The point system's been made up for a reason. I'm okay with soccer being tied. But when there's as much scoring as there is involved in football, you got to have a decisive winner in that.
Like it.
I would agree with that. And as someone who is a soccer fan and then therefore knows ties, and there's some ties that feel like wins and some ties that feel like losses. In football, it just feels wrong.
Yeah, just don't feel right.
It's weird. It's creepy.
Yep. What's not creepy is the NBA. I have no other.
Sure about that?
All right. Bye.
Skip.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you for our music cue. No, as far as we know, as of right now, this second, the NBA is not creepy. unless you're Stephen A. Smith talking crap about LeBron James' son, and then they confront each other, and now he's going on a world tour telling why LeBron James sucks.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm past it. I'm on to the collegiate game right now, guys. My mind is on that.
So that huge preview that Josh gave last week, that was
exactly
it.
I didn't want to out my boy, but
You can out me. I don't care. I'm over
Come on,
it.
man.
I am so over it.
we're not going to do it this week, guys, because we're going to have such a huge segment on it next week when the dust settles.
Yeah, the dust settled. You know what? It was a nothing burger. A nothing burger came out of it. It was just a bunch of hot air.
I like it. I like it.
I would have had a big segment, but then nothing happened. It's just
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith just keeps talking. Congratulations on $100 million, by the way. But you just put it back. it just like, and now he's going. He's like, and then people playing the clip about, he's just like, "Hey, if you got a problem with me, I'll be at the game. Come confront me." Then LeBron James confronts him. He was like, "My bad, dog." And then he goes, and then once he's not confronted by LeBron James sitting there about to beat his ass, then he goes on stuff. Not to sit there and say that he doesn't make good points and defends his stance. But when you say, "Hey, come confront me at the game," and then you do, and it seemed like he was like, "I'm good." That was the one thing I didn't really care for. But I still would say, if you put your son in that position to have scrutiny.
Even Wade himself on the gazillion of podcasts that Wade is now going on was talking about like LeBron kind of put his son out there for this type of scrutiny. So even though LeBron's his boy, they're really good friends. He even like put that point out forward of like, LeBron was talking like, "Oh, he's so much better than so and so and so and so." And then now there's a lot of hype for Bronny that he's not living up to yet, and that's fine because like his father is who his father is, so like that's a lot to live up to.
It's literally the biggest shadow
you
could ever cast on your kid. I mean, joking about politics, Trump, his kids, he's got a big shadow. I mean, other athletes and such where their kids are coming in. I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. probably didn't have as big of one, maybe with his dad, but Marvin Harrison Jr. That's a big ass shadow.
Shadur Sanders with Deion Sanders' son because his dad is hyping him up so much. Now it's not. I mean, Deion's the greatest athlete I've ever seen play any sport. Just how good he is, but he's good at I think he's preparing his son. Plus, his son's actually good enough to play at a high level in the NFL. Whereas nothing told me Bronny was going to work, and he should have stayed in college.
Told you, though.
But and the whole pomp and circumstance, the Lakers be like, "Better not draft him, or he gonna play for you." Like, no shit, no one's going to draft him.
And hey, he's getting the bag too.
Yeah.
So like, shout out to him for getting the bag that he's getting. That he was on a 2-way contract that people around him that got drafted around him are not making as much money as he is.
No. The big thing I think LeBron had an issue with is because Stephen A. attacked him more as a father than putting his son in that position. That's the issue that LeBron had. And I was like, because LeBron never came out and said one way or the other why he confronted him. Stephen A. basically explained. He was like, he came at me because I was talking bad about him as a father. I'm like, I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
As far as I know, LeBron James is a great father. Like, and he's always around his kids. He's doing everything for his kids. I mean, literally helping them get to the league. When a lot of kids, the Nepo thing, you can throw that out there. But
I mean, would you not do it for your kids?
Oh yeah, I would do anything I can.
That's where like nepotism. You don't like it when you're on the outside,
right?
And it's definitely not a great way for like a corporation or a business or political party or anything to kind of respond to. But if it's your kid, you're going to want to do what you can to set them up for success.
I don't blame Bron or Bronny for it at all.
No.
Like, I don't blame them. I don't blame LeBron for hyping up his kid because in that moment, he's being a dad who's a proud dad that his son just got drafted as a professional basketball player. Like, take the fact that LeBron is who LeBron is. Any parent that sees their kid get drafted, that is probably one of the proudest moments in their life. So yeah, there's levels to it.
Yeah. And
my dad doesn't have Taco Tuesday. All right, what's going on, Pops? Where's it at? Why would I have an Indian Taco Tuesday? It's a dad-heavy episode, by the way.
Indian tacos are delicious, by the way.
Right? They're so fucking good. I'm excited to have some. We got a team meeting here in a month, and I think tacos are going down. But yeah, Josh, sorry. Were you going to kind of comment on your dad?
I mean, he coached me in basketball back in like the YMCA days.
Heck yeah, dude.
He had me one time. He was sitting there watching film with me, like breaking down stuff. I'm like 10. My mom's like, "No, you're not doing this."
What? Yeah. That's a good age. I feel like to actually start learning the love of film. Okay.
It's like, anyway.
And that's why Josh is not a professional player anymore. His mom stopped it.
Oh yeah, that's the reason. I've got a lot of genetic
It's not because of his height at all.
Not because of my height or my lack of athleticism, because of the genetics in my body. Totally because my dad stopped coaching me.
Yeah. Just nepotism. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
In the worst sense, actually, now.
Yeah, I mean, remember Steph Curry's dad and Seth Curry's dad getting him in the league? No. I mean,
Seth Curry is only in because of brother nepotism. Like, I guess it's still still nepotism.
Seth is a solid role player.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't mind having him on a team, but yeah, it's definitely near where his brother's at.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I have. I know we joked about it. You gave me shit. I still didn't really talk about it. But you had a nice little segment there. There you go, guys.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if we even really talked about it, but Steph Curry is the first NBA player to sit on the board of the athletic board there at his college.
Davidson. Yes.
So Davidson, he's actually on the athletic directing board.
Yeah,
which I think is cool. Him actually like reaching back. I mean, reaching and teaching as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like be the liaison, like the GM or something like that. Because you have a lot of other previous like GMs. Because Belichick brought in Lombardi, I think, and he was like a former NFL GM, and he had him come in to be like the GM of North Carolina. Woj, that did Woj bombs. He was like, "Screw it, I'm tired of staying up all the time. And I'm going to go be the GM of my alma mater at St. Bonaventure." So you're going to see a lot more of that. Former players. I mean, you're going to see a lot more former successful players that have influence in the league because Steph is, I don't know how much longer Steph's got in the league.
Other time.
Yeah. So, you got to start going there. So it's a good point. Good point, Tushka.
Yep. Shout out, Steph. Way to go back to your roots, man. I just love seeing that. And if we see it more because of NIL contracts and them actually needing the professionals who can handle a lot of that money situation, I'm all for it because it just deepens. I mean, for you go out have graduated college, it just deepens that kind of pride, that you have in your alma mater. And it's really cool to see. So,
like, speaking of that, this is going a little off the rails here, but on Amazon Prime, they have an entire series talking about NIL just from like the LSU perspective. So it has Jaden Daniels, it has Angel Reese, it has Flage, it has that one gymnast who made a bunch of money.
Livy Dunn.
Livy Dunn, there we go. So I watched that yesterday just randomly, and it's really good. And it gives you have this one person that's working in the front office for like for the athletes with NIL, and how like LSU themselves over other colleges was really pushing NIL to like the degree that they could actually get their athletes the type of money that like other colleges weren't pushing as much as them. So it's interesting to see like the way that they handled NIL and how they kind of were the forefront for then other colleges to follow in their footsteps.
Yeah. And Money Game is the name of the documentary. But yeah, for them to actually embrace it, like with a lot of systematic changes, it's easy for the establishment to really kind of push away with it because things are working for a reason. And so with NIL, it's a great disruption, just like COVID was with the entire world. But you have to kind of embrace that change a little bit because it just like with technology. I mean, you kind of see it with some of the older generations. They're coming back around and they're actually wanting to learn about fillable PDFs and things of that nature. It's like, yeah, because they didn't embrace it as they grew up like we did. I mean, we grew up with that. So for these kids growing up with the NIL system, they're definitely embracing it. But it's smart on the universities to actually do the same and kind of toe the line. And for LSU and some others actually being the ones that kind of dictate and kind of set the pace. So we'll see what UNC does and some of these others that are actually being able to reach out and grab some former athletes or alumni to help out with it.
Yeah, and speaking about documentaries, I almost forgot. Today they dropped the July 6th quarterback. Will be back on Netflix. The quarterbacks that were announced that they covered are Kirk Cousins. He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Why? Why?
Jared Goff.
Gerv?
And one Mr. Joe Burrow. So that's yeah. You got Joey B. You got Joe Shiesty.
I mean, low key watching that first documentary, I was like, oh, do I like Kirk Cousins now? Because he had a little bit more personality than you think that he does in real life watching football.
It really won me over with how he interacted with the fans, and much less him and just as a family man. That's what really stuck out to me, and how just that was really cool of just him. You could tell like he as far as time management, he wants to dedicate everything to football, but he definitely always wants to take time for his kids and family. And that's something that's very hard to do when you're trying to be at the top of that profession.
Nice.
So that was always nice to see.
What stuck out to me with Kirk O'Chains was that how much his team actually fucking loved him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was with the Minnesota Vikings. So this is going to be interesting to see him in this next step because it's from the previous year. It's not the upcoming year. With the Falcons and what that change looks like. And I mean, honestly, like if they really received him that well, they actually had a pretty good run in the season. Kind of faltered a little bit towards the end, and a lot of people are looking at Kirk for that. So that's going to be pretty riveting. But you're talking about the Falcons, you're talking about the Bengals, and then who was the other one? Sorry,
the Lions. Yeah, Jared Goff.
So there's only one team that really made the playoffs, right? Out of those, so we'll see.
I mean, it's like the first season where then it just became the Patrick Mahomes show.
Yeah, exactly. I know. That's when it's like, well, we know what the last 2 or 3 episodes are going to be.
Yeah. And speaking about the Bengals, shout out to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. They are still back with the Bengals.
Paid. So. And apologies to anybody in Cincinnati. You know what? No. Fuck you, Ohio. I didn't forget about y'all, dude. I didn't forget. No, for Cincinnati. Sorry, you're never gonna have any money to pay anybody else for the next 5 years. So enjoy a great offense and a terrible defense, and enjoy Cancun early because you're not gonna make the playoffs.
It's insert the Thanos meme is like, we've signed Burrow, Trace, and Higgins. What did it cost you? Everything. On that.
They really want to test out the defense wins championships. They're going to be like, no.
We don't need no defense. All the offense.
Ask the Kansas City Chiefs who went up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, the defense didn't win championships.
Oh no, that was. I mean, defense definitely wins championships. That was not really us. That was
just all around. Just the Eagles just were a wagon at the end of the year.
Right. Yeah, but that wasn't us not having a defense. So don't get that twisted, sir.
I was saying the Eagles' defense is that good.
Yeah. No, the 2 times we have lost is because we don't have an offensive line.
No.
Ugh. Anyways, I'm getting pissed off.
And this is the basketball segment too.
Real quick, just to kind of wrap up NBA, I know shout out to Stephen Castle. He looks like he is on pace to be Rookie of the Year right out of UConn. So he just keeps winning at least awards now. He's not going to make the playoffs or anything. But right now, the Cavs win streak, the second long win streak that they had was snapped by the Magic. They're actually a 2-game skid right now. But as it stands right now, we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. Cavs, Celtics, and OKC are the only teams as of right now that have wrapped up playoff spots. I expect those 3 teams to It's going to be between those three teams. I think probably, unless something. I just don't see the Cavs being able to beat the Celtics in the 7-game series. I just don't. I want them to.
I'm just not going to doubt them, even though they're from Ohio. I'm just not going to doubt them because they have done such an incredible job of really turning heads this season and playing team ball and unselfish ball. I think that really could be what could get them over in the East. We'll see. But, oh, my God, man. I'm just – OKC, baby, let's go. Maybe you're winning because you have the letters KC in it. We'll see. But yeah, let's go, big dogs.
And my best friend, she's from Cleveland, Ohio. So if I'm not rooting for the Heat, I'm going to root for Cleveland, especially because Boston can lose. And that's also a good thing. So in the East.
That's the Boston team you don't cheer for, right?
Yes. The only Boston team that I cheer for is the Red Sox. All other Boston teams can suck.
And where Shannon Sharp says, Devontae Adams, Grizzly Adams, John Quincy Adams, Lakers in 5. But to move on to the collegiate game that is getting kicked off tomorrow and then Friday and then the next day for the women. Okay. We've got this nice little video from our boy, YT Boy, to get you hyped up for it.
College basketball. The wait is over and the field is set. In the South, the Tigers have looked far from invincible in recent weeks, but look to slash through their opponents early and often. The Cardinals, disrespected by higher powers, will pose a threat to the Tigers' reign. Michigan's two giants will go to battle in an army from the West, known for efficiency, while the Spartans look to march through any opponent, whether it's Lobos, Golden Eagles, or a reforming Cyclone. In the East, the Blue Devils should have their prince at full strength, primed for a glorious run. The Wildcats will have their hands full with a gritty squad of Zips, while charging Rams have their sights set on a red-hot Cougars team. The Crimson Tide will have to roll, even with the likes of fiery Badgers and underrated Gales in the mix. In the West, a matchup between two superpowers seems imminent, as the Gators, the hottest team in the country, and an encapsulating Red Storm are the ones to defeat. Will the defending champs, Crab 5,
sorry, I'm filling up my bracket right now,
have other plans? Or maybe it's Mid-American Bulldogs, Red Raiders, or unpredictable Tigers that will spoil the Storm's descent.
Bulldogs.
In the Midwest, Houston's suffocating defense and tenured leader has the look of a war-ready machine. Their first test will be the victor in the Battle of the Bulldogs, but a plethora of mid-majors will look to wreak havoc and cause chaos in this region, while Pope and his Cats try and navigate a path to a rematch with the Vols. Will Dark Horse Tigers or Boilermakers emerge as the region's favourites? Or will Illinois reach their full potential and destroy everyone in their path? The madness has just begun. March is here.
Like it.
It's so good. Just for everyone out there, thank you to my buddy Jake for being sitting with me and going over the bracket reveal on Sunday. So check if y'all want to go back and watch that to hopefully get your bracket right. And spoiler alert: at the end of the day, we don't fucking know anything. So, we literally put it as a crawler. Shout out to Tushka for putting that down there. Made me laugh during that. But yes, thank you so much. I'm with him is with Florida as the hottest team. I just don't see. Anyone can get beat. That's why we love this tournament. We love the Cinderellas. What 6'11" future accountant white dude from BFE is going to. We're never going to forget his name. That's what. Mm-hmm. The first round is when who those who's going to be famous at the end of this weekend. Mm-hmm. That comes out of nowhere. That's why we love it. That's why it's the second, probably my favorite overall tournament that exists. It's one of my favorite sporting events. Not my top, but it's just something I look for every year. I don't know. I'm going to see Tushka is filling out his bracket. Sol's got hers before we move on to the women's brackets, so for real quick, go ahead and tell me what you all think about the bracket, and if you all have a team that stands out to you real quick.
I haven't really looked at it much, so I don't have a team yet. But I was watching on social media. The U.S. men's national team are currently in camp right now. They play tomorrow, and they asked all of them who they thought, and the majority of them chose Duke.
Yeah.
So they're going with Duke. Should I join in with the U.S. men's national team and choose Duke? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, their best player, which arguably is the best player in the country, going to be the number 1 overall draft pick, Drew Cooper Flagg, turned his ankle really bad, like more of a high ankle sprain-ish. I don't expect him to play this first weekend, but I do expect him back afterwards. Because Duke is that good where they should win their first 2 games. Should. Anything can happen, but I don't think they're going to play him. But even without full strength, they still won their conference championship.
You said 2 games, right? 2 games?
Yes, the first 2 games.
Okay. Yeah, not just following up.
Yeah, just so you know, and just so for anyone out there that's filling out their bracket, I'm not calling out anyone, but anyone that's filling out their bracket as I'm talking right now.
Let's know the chats right now.
Let us also know who are your favorite mascots. What are you choosing to choose your teams? Like if you don't know anything about college basketball on the men's side, like me, what is you using to choose? Like, is it mascots? Is it butts? They're babies, so it can't be like who's the hottest. Like when you're choosing draft picks, when you're doing fantasy football.
20-year-old babies.
They're babies. So, what are you using? Let us know.
Well, I'll tell you who's not going to be picking a certain team is Kendrick Lamar because there's the University of Drake. It's not even like University is in the tournament. I have them winning at least 1 game. They're 30-3.
Do you think they would just change their name, of the entire university, just because
they were around before Drake? Okay,
it doesn't matter. I mean, the peace symbol was around before the swastika. So once evil touches it, sometimes it's ruined.
Allegedly, Drake did that. We don't know for sure, but he hasn't sued Kendrick, so
He sued everybody else.
Yeah, he sued everyone else. And then speaking about the snubs and what's going as far as a tournament, there's always a snub every year. People think, get on the committee and everything because basically at the end of the day, committee can go out there and just bullshit around of why they put people there. Like last year, it's because these teams had this many quad 1 wins, and then they put North Carolina in who only had 1 quad 1 win for the whole season. Meanwhile, they left off West Virginia who had 6, and they left out Indiana who had 5 as well. So those 2 teams had a better resume than North Carolina. North Carolina got in. They just beat San Diego State last night by 40, which, but it doesn't matter if they got in, if they did well once they get in. It's the fact that they shouldn't have been in to begin with. So then, in turn, the governor of West Virginia holds a press conference the next day, basically says the National Corrupt Association, I forget exactly what he made the acronym. And it was a big publicity stunt, but it's more of just, it was more of just putting his face out there. So
it's corrupt. What?
Yeah. And then because the commissioner, the overall commissioner that oversees the committee is the sitting AD at North Carolina, who somehow or another was the last team that got in. And just so you all know, AD got $104,000 for his team.
Sounds good. Sounds above board.
And then he says,
"There's no tar on those hills."
Anytime North Carolina came up, I excused myself. I'm like, you're outside the office like this.
He's like,
"Hey guys, you know what to do. I'm gonna step outside."
Just because a lot of the office spaces are going into the co-working kind of look. So you've got these huge windows, or just
so he's just out there
he's just standing up in a cubicle. They're and.
In North Carolina?
Right,
North Carolina, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Is he still looking? Oh, damn it.
I don't know. Just keep clicking.
So, in another twist of West Virginia not catching any breaks, their coach of 1 year, Coach DeVries, says, I plan on being here for a while. And after 1 season, he goes, by the way, I'm going to Indiana. So yes, the West Virginia coach just got hired as the next coach for Indiana University. His son, who ended up getting shoulder surgery and was a really good player for them, is following
Transfer
him.
portal?
The transfer portal. Travis DeVries. I think it's Tucker. Sorry, Tucker DeVries. My apologies. Tucker DeVries is following there. There's someone that put out this big conspiracy theory that the coach already knew that he was going to go to Indiana somehow. I just whatever. But I just thought that was hilarious. Of like, West Virginia just can't catch a break. So
yeah. I mean, kind of to the tournament of it though. It's interesting because it seems like a lot of articles when they're talking about upsets, they're really trying to follow the 12-5 rule.
Yeah,
because I mean, statistically, that is the highest upset margin or kind of combo. Just because the 12s are usually one of the top out of their conferences, they're just not in the big, 3 or 4 conferences. Oh God, SEC 14. Was that? Did we confirm that? Is that the record? 14 teams in the freaking deal. I mean, I'm lucky because my Oklahoma
they're a
guys
basketball conference now.
Yeah, the super conference, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, looking at the 12 and 5s, just for conversation's sake, these 12 and 5s, which one would you pick? Seoul and San Diego over Michigan.
It could, but no.
Liberty over Oregon.
No.
New Mexico, Colorado State over Memphis.
Yes.
Okay.
Colorado State is favored, and they're the underdog, and they're technically the 12th seed. I'll put it that way.
And then Clemson or McNeese.
McNeese. By the way, the McNeese coach just already accepted the NC State job, but we figured everyone knew he wasn't going to be there for very long.
Yeah, that's the one. Whenever we were
see, Josh knows things. I don't know anything.
And I win things,
or at least gonna be better than him.
Yeah. No, I've been winning. Last year, I'm the winner, baby. Watch it, bracket bitches. Watch all the other ones. First 3 tournaments, I won. But
I've won 4 in my life.
Yeah, definitely not going to be the case this year. We got too many people joining the Discord and joining in these, which you need to do right now. Links below. Join the Discord, but then also hurry up and fill in your bracket before 10 o'clock tomorrow noon. The first game's
12:15 Eastern time is when Louisville and Creighton tip.
Okay, so there's no games. Okay,
going on. How are you going to be tomorrow at 12:15? Like 0
and
why working?
Why will you not be working?
Yeah.
No, I'm already told my boss. I'm like, look, just give me 2 hours. Just give me 2 hours, and then give me about 30 minutes afterwards if they lose.
But yeah, I definitely follow the brackets. But yeah, I like McNeese. Didn't really know much about the Memphis Colorado State, so I'm gonna go that. Doing it. Boom, it's in. All right.
Championship
onwards. Because they're not the only ones that actually got selected, right? There's other ball to be played.
Yes, the women's bracket was released. USC's coach was not happy about it. UCLA is the number 1 overall seed. Dawn Staley, and I kind of want to get I don't know if you saw Dawn Staley, not too happy with what's going on. Maybe she thought she was supposed to be the number 1 overall seed other than UCLA, because I think she basically was. They got that side of the bracket to where they're the number 2 overall team. But UCLA got the number 1 overall seed. Kind of the same thing as people thought Auburn in the men's side lost 3 out of their 4, but they still got the number 1 overall seed over Duke, who has been killing people the past month and a half. But at the end of the day, the ball's gonna be tipped. You got to beat the team on the other side. But thoughts on that bracket, Soul, and is Paige going to finally get her would be a second natty, or no?
It'd be her first natty. She has
right.
They have not won a natty, I think, since Breonna Stewart graduated.
Okay. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, and I think he's even said, Coach Ariyama has said, if it wasn't me, I'd probably be fired already because I haven't won in a while.
Oh, sure, Gino. Just say that.
But Yeah, Dawn is spicy, and if Dawn is choosing a way to put a chip on the shoulder of her team, who, like, her team has still been freaking phenomenal this year. Yes, they've lost. We're used to them being undefeated, so they've lost a few times this year.
Yeah.
But if she's able to put a chip on their shoulder, that's scary. And people are saying that USC versus University of South Carolina is going to be like the fight for who is the real USC on the bracket.
Yeah, because that's what I've got. UCLA has been a wagon all year. Even though USC is the 2, I think Juju can will that team to 6 games, or at least get to the Final Four. And then we've got South Carolina, and then I've got UConn. I believe they're in the lower part of that bracket. They're the 1 or the 2 seed in that part, and I just don't see. You got Dawn Staley, you've got the wagon in UCLA, you've got Juju, and then you've got Paige, and I just don't see how those 4 teams don't make the Final Four. But
yeah, I would pretty much say it's those 4. Take your pick. Do you want to go with South Carolina, who won last year and they got Dawn? Do you want to go with Juju? Do you want to go with Paige? Do you want to go with UCLA, who has been playing phenomenal this year? Yeah. Like it's literally take your pick.
Yeah, but I will say my dark horse is Grand Canyon University, the largest enrollment of any Division I team. Yes, that's right. They have 125,000 students at Grand Canyon University. People right now are realizing
they
that
have
they
a lot of
actually
commercials
exist.
too.
Yeah, they basically accept everyone. But Molly Miller, I believe, is her name. She is the coach there, and just something. There's just something about her that makes me think she's got a really bright future. Not just because her team wins or anything like that, but here's her celebrating. Big thing. There's something about, I don't know, something. I feel like I know she has a connection with people.
I mean, we talked about with Las Vegas that they have fun, and then that fun can lead you towards winning. You never know.
Yeah, but a lot of people now realize who Grand Canyon is, and it's not because of their basketball; it's because the coach is just attractive.
Hey, I mean, look, everybody looks good with a net around their neck. Okay, that's what it is. But kind of my thoughts on the tournament. Big 12, let's go. Baylor is going to top the Grand Canyon. Okay, you guys will not be celebrating like that in the locker room. Those will be tears, not Gatorade. Okay, but also I will guarantee it. Put it in your bracket. Iowa State will win today, 68-68-3 over Princeton.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
They're without their best player.
Money on it? You want to put money on it?
They're without their best player for the entire tournament.
Hey, that's right. They still won today, or they will win today. Yeah.
Tomorrow?
No, today. Tournament started today.
The women's or the men's?
Women's.
Okay.
Wednesday, March 19th. One game's already done. That's kind of the illusion of the
technically the men's have started last night, but it's a playing game. Yeah. So.
You guys ready to speak Unrivaled?
Yeah.
Let's go.
No, not really. Kind of, a little bit, but not really.
I know.
Just break my heart again.
It's rigged. It's all a sham.
Before we go to the game, the semifinal and the final game, we got some awards. So shouting out some of the players here. First team was announced, and we got Nafisa Collier of the Lunar Owls, Chelsea Gray of the Rose, and Kayla McBride of Laces. Let's go Laces. And then the second team was announced, Skylar Diggins-Smith of Lunar Owls, Ryan Howard of Vinyl, and Angel Reese of Rose. Then we have Coach of the Year. That's DJ Sackman. He was the coach of the Lunar Owls. Only lost one game in the regular season. He did not win the inaugural season, but only lost one. Like, shout out to him there. Then we have Defensive Player of the Year. That was Angel Reese. Out of the 14 games she played, she had double-digit rebounds in all games but 4. majority defensive rebounds, 9 games with 1 steal or more, 7 games with 1 block or more. So she earned it on her defense there. Then we have MVP, which everyone knew it was going to happen. It was going to be Nafisa Collier. She played fucking lights out this year. So they're calling her MVP. So congrats there to Nafisa Collier. And then you ready to talk about the games, Josh? I know.
Rip the Band-Aid off, so.
I mean, you're going to be
Hold on. Like, rookie or defensive player of the year? It's of the month. Like 6 weeks, 8 weeks? I mean, come on. I mean, are they at Unrivaled trying to make this a year-long or longer season? Because, I mean, to give them a year award, regardless of,
same thing if they're calling the NBA champion the world champion. They don't play the other teams around the world.
Yeah.
So just go with it.
I mean,
there is a lot of international players in the league.
Yeah.
But it's not the only league that exists in the world.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there are a lot of world players that come over here, so they have that. But yeah, anyway, sorry, that was just just a little note.
Also, Angel Reese, shout out to her, awesome stuff there. But she's becoming more and more of the Dennis Rodman of she gonna lock down, defend you, and she gonna rebound everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad comp.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad comp.
Not a bad comp. She even wore, I think, Dennis Rodman's jersey one time in her tunnel fit. Like sheesh.
Well, my question is, who wears a wedding dress better?
Right now, Dennis, because Angel
exactly.
hasn't gotten there yet.
But talking about the games, Josh, you should be happy with the semifinals.
No, I just like to egg on the audience because they like to see me in misery. So.
So the Rose, they beat the Laces 63-57. So the higher seed won there, the 2 over the 3. And then Vinyl, the number 4 seed, beat the number 1 seed and the favorites, Lunar Owls, 73-70 to make it to the final. There was some players out due to injury for the Rose. Yeah. Angel Reese and Kalia Copper. Laces had Jackie Young and Kate Martin out. Vinyl had Enrique out. And then Lunar Owls Cam, who she's been out all season. And Kiki Jefferson, who she's only on the team as an injury replacement. And then she got injured herself.
That's why the Laces lost Kate Martin. Yeah, that's it. That's the only reason.
Only reason, right?
Only reason.
And yeah, I am sad that the Laces lost, but it was fun to watch them. They actually were up for a majority of the game, but the Roses kind of rallied. And it's kind of the same thing happened in the other semifinal is Lunar Owls was up, but that fourth quarter, Vinyl said, nah, we're going to make it to the final. So it was really fun semifinal matchup there. But let's go to the actual final. Roses officially win the inaugural season, beating the Vinyl 62-54. With Angel Reese out, Azarae Stevens had to step up as Roses' only big, getting a 19.18 rebound double-double. Brittany Sykes also stepped up, getting 21 points. Chelsea Gray only had 3 points in the first half, but her passing was still on point, getting plenty of assists. And she stepped up big in the second half and actually ended up winning Finals MVP because of her second half performance there. On Vinyl side, Ryan Howard, she's lethal with her threes. It is what it is. She got 22 points, was actually the leading scorer of the entire game from both teams. And one of my favorite moments was when Aaliyah Boston had some good play on both sides of the court.
Keep talking about them.
And for a few positions, and Lisa Leslie, who was on the broadcast, she said she must have eaten her Wheaties this morning.
Yeah.
So I know you're proud of your girl there.
Yeah, so. I mean, and Aaliyah's going to go back to the Fever, who just got Cunningham and their coach, and so I'm saying it. Year 2, the Fever, the way they built it.
Fever is scary. They got
no
DeWanna Bonner. Like
you kind of have no excuse. Like you got Cunningham, so. Yeah,
Fever's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah,
and they were fun to watch last year, but they're going to be even more fun to watch this year. the game stayed pretty even throughout most of the game, and both teams played really good defense. Again, defense wins championships. But Rose were able to establish the target score when Chelsea Gray made the buzzer beater 3 from like over half court to put the Rose in the lead. And so let's watch this moment because it was kind of crazy.
Clock, 7 to shoot for Ryan Howard. Tries to give Final the lead, going to the 4th. Howard the step back. Ryan Howard! It's that time, Lisa.
It's right time.
Stevenson with the heat.
But the point guard said, put some respect on my name.
Put some respect on her name.
Yep.
But
Gray was seeing the green light.
She's so good.
Mm-hmm.
She's so good. And then the funniest thing for me in this is Natisha Heidemann. She's one of the relief players. She's played on 3 different teams. She won a championship just by her last team that she was placed on winning. So she's represented like pretty much the whole league, but now she gets to say I'm a champion, even though she rode the bench for them. So that part cracks me up because she actually like played for the other teams, but she really didn't play that much for Rose. And then going in, the win for Rose, kind of slightly anticlimactic. Brittany Sykes makes a 3-point play by scoring and getting the and one, and so they won on the and one. But let's watch it anyways.
Taking the screen, get into the basket, and I love the fact that the Rose are not trying to settle for a 3-pointer.
Sykes 2 and the foul, and she can win it at the free throw line.
Brittany Sykes turns the corner right past Canada, gets her on the arm, and gets it to go. Lisa, you said they've been on the attack. They've been getting to the basket, and an opportunity here to close it out.
1 for 2 tonight. At 1 and 4, they were just planting seeds. Since they have rose to the occasion, Rose Basketball Club is the first unrivaled champion.
Man.
You gotta love that for them.
Yeah. And she ran straight to her girl, too.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yep.
There were some people talking some ish online before this, because kind of giving the Lunar Owls their flowers. And before the season started, ESPN put the ranking of the Rose in last place. And apparently they printed that shit and put it in the locker room and looked at it every day. Yeah. And apparently someone commented too online under that with a gif of Chelsea Gray saying unknown. And so they put that shit on the wall too. And so we're going to have 3 videos here. We're going to first start off with Coach Nola after the game. But yeah, they're talking their ish and I love it.
Over. You know, at the start of playoffs, you were talking to me about how y'all got counted out at full strength. You got counted out when players were down. Yet here we are, you all standing as champions. What led to this moment?
Just a team full of relentless dogs that refuse to be denied. And a coach that's super passionate about my players, my preparation, and just the opportunity in front of us. So from day one, again, full strength, they counted us out. Cod down, they counted us out. Azare out, they counted us out. Angel down, they counted us out. What they gonna say now? What they gonna say now? What they gonna say now? And then, thanks to Chelsea, obviously.
It's good. It's good. And then As I'll let you set this next one up, Chelsea Gray, she won that Finals MVP, and they brought her up to speak, and they were just asking her how, after everything and what people were saying online, what does she want people to say about Chelsea Gray now? And think about this too. She's a 3-time WNBA champion, a Finals MVP in the WNBA, a gold medalist. She's won a lot. So it's kind of funny that people we're talking like she's not the shit when she is the shit. But let's watch this.
All right, Chelsea Gray, Finals MVP. I saw you holding that trophy, just looking at it. What are the words that come to your mind when you look at this and what you've been able to do for this club?
Just a testament to my work that I've been putting in this whole year, and a testament to my team, man. Players that come back. We had this shirt, man. They counted us as 6 coming to this thing. You know what I'm saying? Back say unknown, you feel me? So it's a testament to my team. Finals MVP, man, I couldn't do it without them.
Now, I think I speak for everyone I say. In that third and fourth quarter, you know you got about to get the point guard experience here from Chelsea Gray. Talk to me about these final quarters, specifically in this one, the mode that you go into for your team.
Just got to get the best shot possible, try to get that big toe in the paint.
Big toe?
Get the big toe in the paint, get easy scores. I was getting good looks all night, just had to knock them down. So, I mean, I put in the work, so I know it's going to, come to fruition.
Early in the season, we talked about the fact that you had heard the chatter. You knew the importance of these performances. What do you want people to say about Chelsea Gray now?
Ooh, man. I know, right?
They're telling her not to be humble over here on the stage. I don't know if y'all can tell.
Keep that same energy, is what I'm saying. When y'all see me that same summer, I got the receipts who's talking shit, so keep the same energy.
And just, hey, Finals MVP, Chelsea Gray, everybody.
Yeah.
She's got the receipts. She's got the receipts. Before we go on to the next thing.
Sorry to cut you off, but when you got the chip, you can talk that shit. So.
Right. And that's what she said beforehand, too. She's like, I'm not going to say anything until we win.
Mm-hmm.
And when we win, that's when I'm going to start talking shit.
Yeah.
And that's the way to do it. But before we go to Ka being a little messy, which we saw a little bit of the shirts, she's the one who created those shirts. Any thoughts on Rose winning?
I mean,
should have been laces.
Should have been vinyl.
Yeah.
Them winning without Angel Reese. Chelsea Gray put the team on their back though. So, but yeah, congratulations to him. I think this was a success I don't know if you can call it an experiment or league launch or whatever you want to call it. I thought this was a success. And it keeps, and I don't think it's going to be bigger, going to get bigger names involved with it when they can. But hopefully this is also something that's going to help, those mid-tier players that aren't well-known names to become well-known household names as well, because it might, like a Chelsea Gray or something. Chelsea Gray was already dominant, but this is really going to propel her to being like, oh, I'm going to watch her now. So. And
for the Rose, I think it's more like a Brittany Sykes. People didn't know who she was, and she had the game winner here. And you've been able to see, they've really showcased the players' personalities in the social media stuff that we don't really get to see as much when the WNBA team's social media accounts. You see a little bit more with the Las Vegas Aces, but they're kind of the only ones really pushing it to the really showing their players' personalities. So there's a lot of names that before I was like, yeah, I knew them just because they were background players on a team that had players that I really cared about. And now I'm just like, I care about these players now because I've spent an entire unrivaled season watching them. So yeah, it's cool. Tishka?
I'm just glad Nafisha or Brianna Stewart didn't win, because then that'd be absolute nepotism. Because they are the two that really kind of co-founded the league. along with other investors and such. But absolutely incredible. I mean, getting I really like almost like pickup volleyball game of scoring as far as the win, where you got to win by a certain amount. And it wins on a shot itself. And I think that aspect of it makes the game a little bit more captivating than just, the last, 30 seconds. If they got the ball, they're just trying to bounce the time down, which still builds up anticipation and such. But winning on a shot, dude, it's so dope. And hats off to them. A great premier season. Excited to see kind of what it looks like next year. I mean, kind of made the joke about it, rookie of the year, but I feel like them saying rookie of the year means that they have some expectations or maybe some goals of this being a little bit bigger of a league. And I think that's going to be an expansion teams, kind of in the future. But yeah, we'll see what the, after it gets, kind of done with the tournament and such next year, what that looks like as far as the growth. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And what we've learned right now is that each player is on a 2-year contract with their basketball clubs here at Unrivaled. So every player that was in it this year, unless they get injured, they're going to be on the same teams next year. So that's going to be fun to watch. We'll see if they expand. Apparently there's talks about like the home base being Miami, but playing in other cities. So they're already talking of growing this thing. So it's some exciting stuff. But the last thing we're going to watch here on Unrivaled is Kalia Copper being a little messy. And we love people when they're being a little messy here on the ruckus. We like people causing a ruckus.
Yeah, speaking of ruckus, I thought we were done, so I closed out that tab.
Perfect. Josh, any more to say on Unrivaled?
No. I think, like I said, it was a success. We know a lot more players now because, like you said, you got to see their personality stand out. I can't wait to see more teams possibly being added next year in this as well. But I think we've got it.
Yep.
Let's watch.
Hey, Safedin USA Today. I have to ask you guys about the note that you guys hung on your whiteboard that's on your shirt
It's right here.
now.
Talk about it.
Yes. Just the motivation behind this, and it was a driving force for you guys all season.
Sorry.
Listen. Off the champagne, I'm gonna have this one. Listen to me. No bullshit.
Go ahead,
When we saw the little shit on Twitter, we saw it. You know what I did? I said, I already know how Nola is because she be talking that talk. So I said, let me send it to Nola, right? I said, Nola, hang it in the locker room. Period. So we could walk in there and get dressed. And we see it every single day. And you know what was under it? Hold this. You know what I put under it? Put 3 lines under it? Unknown. Somebody said they put a picture of Chelsea up and said unknown. What? VR. We know who, like, everybody in our locker room, we know what we were capable of and we know what we could do. What we do?
Yeah, what we do?
Number one, inaugural season, shout out to Unrivaled. Number one. What SpongeBob say? He was number one.
Hey, quoting SpongeBob there. Josh.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's exactly like you. Hey, when you get a little saucy, just whatever. You're not going to wake up in the morning with like the Sunday scaries or anything like that. So you're good. You're good on that. So yeah, shout out to him. Celebrate. Do what you want.
Celebrate. But that's all I got for basketball. Anything else on the basketball front for you?
No, make all your brackets do what they're supposed to do and not be busted. Yes.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen at all.
No, the Ides of March is for real.
You ready for some kicking and screaming?
Rare.
We got some. Got some MLS to talk about. So both Josh's and Tushka's team, both of them, they were on their tying time this
That's
past
why I said
week.
I'm okay with tying in soccer because it happened.
Yeah, that's a win. That's a win.
It's a win. It's a win, guys. It's a win. Put it up. Mark it.
That's for us too.
Mark it up. We didn't lose.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
didn't
both
lose.
of you got a point this past week.
Good point.
New York Red Bulls tied Orlando City 2-2. And Sporting KC tied Minnesota United 3-3. So you got 2 goals on the board on Josh's side. You got 3 goals on the board on Tishka's side. So, I mean, you didn't lose.
Nope. Didn't
Yep.
lose.
Our kits still suck, but we didn't lose.
Yeah. And then San Diego FC, they also still haven't lost yet. They tied Columbus Crew 1-1. So they're still on their undefeated kick in their inaugural season. We'll see how long that lasts for them. This next one, before going to Inter Miami, goes Real Salt Lake beat Houston Dynamo 2-1 with recent call-up to the U.S. men's national team, Diego Luna, scoring the winning goal. So let's watch that.
Diagonal ball. Jonko first time into space.
Come on.
Luna somehow stays
Where's
on
the
his
card?
feet. Great recovery there from Diego Luna. Still alive out top for Ojeda.
Yep.
Pops loose for Marchuk. Looking for that left corner. What a banger!
Header.
Diego Luna continued his run inside. And before that ball got to the far post, the 21-year-old snaps the header home, and RSL look like they'll take a lead at halftime.
Still advocates.
Let's say, like, as gorgeous as that goal was, I still can't keep my eyes off that eyesore that is Ural's. That is Ural's, Salt Lake's kit. So bad. By the way, don't talk shit. The rest going to give you a yellow.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like the spiciness, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, the link up play there with Salt Lake, that was real good.
Mm-hmm.
A nice goal. Awful kit. Nice goal. This one will make Josh happy. Charlotte beat FC Cincinnati 2-0. And we got a goal from an American. So Patrick Ajiman scored Charlotte's second goal. So let's watch that.
Q on that header, but man, what a finish by Abada. Way to take the moment.
FBL sliding it through. Here's Patrick Osimhen! They're cooking now! And what a leap for that young man!
Look at that smile. Man, did he need that.
Josh, you happy?
And that was a cool...
You know, I'm going to be in Cincinnati next week. So all you FC Cincinnati fans, I don't care. Anytime you lose, it's a good day for me.
Ooh.
That being said, go Reds! It's our year. We got Terry Francona.
I love how Josh and I both like choose a city, and we have teams that we love from that city and teams that we hate from that city.
Yeah, you guys really got to get your shit together. So to me, know your teams and then hate a whole state. That's what I do.
We've had a full-on rant about Ohio before.
Cincinnati's in there.
True. That is true.
Worst of the worst are in there. Anyway, yeah.
And then the last team, my team, Inter Miami beat Atlanta United 2-1. Since Ustadi, who was our goalkeeper, got a red card last game, there was a speculation of, is Drake Callender gonna play? Because he took himself out of the roster last game, but he was on the roster this time, but he was still on the bench. So I have no idea what's going on there. Inter Miami's really bad about being transparent about what's going on with their players. Even season ticket holders like my family, which we've had season tickets since the beginning, we're literally the 102nd season ticket group of the entire thing. We don't know anything. So, we don't know. You guys don't know. No one knows. Maybe we'll find out sometime. Is Drake staying? Is he leaving? We don't know. I don't know. We'll find out eventually. But Atlanta did. They scored first in the 11th minute, and this I was just like, oh crap! It's like the first game in the playoffs all over again, just like that. They're gonna fucking beat us. They still have Brad Goose on, and Goose is fucking like turning 41 this year. That old man, like still playing, still good. But
yeah, he wouldn't be on the team if he wasn't.
Exactly, he's first string. But yeah, but then. Messi, beautiful Messi, who could not score on Brad Guzan at all the last time. He scores to tie up the game in the 20th minute. So let's watch Messi.
Felizmente para los intereses de Atlanta, allí estaba para despejar Smith. La roba la tiene Leo Messi.
That's a chip shot.
La pelota.
He does that shit all the time.
Yep.
And it's still great when he does. Because every time, like, the goalkeeper's like, crap, it's Messi. And he just tries to go low. And it's like, Messi's like, he's just waiting for you to do it.
Yeah, chip it over you. We did end up getting the win with Fafa Picoult. He scored for us in the 89th minute. He's our new signing this year. And thank you, Fafa.
Nico, back post!
Redondo.
Pico, back post!
What's his name again? Fafa
Picoult. He is an American, but he plays for Haiti.
That sounds like some type of wine. I went out to the vineyard and got me some Fafa Picoult.
I mean, I feel like it's the best version of Pico de Gallo.
There you go.
Okay,
Fafa Pico.
And before going to NWSL, we're going to watch this one little video. There are several videos of fans, but I just chose one here. Toronto fans, they're not happy with their team right now. So let's watch them in their misery, because we like to watch Josh in his misery, but this is Toronto in their misery.
Yep.
Here we go again. Here we fucking go again. They better drop the price of the beers. This is fucking ridiculous. I'm missing my front teeth. It'd be $30,000 to get new front teeth. If I just skip the year not buying beer here, I might be able to afford it. But I can't, because these cunts can't do a fucking thing. You know what? At least we're wearing red again, right? At least we're wearing fucking red again. Fucking wish us luck. Wish us luck. New players, new coach, new kit, same shit. Just fucking bollocks. We're in for another long fucking season. Here we go.
I had to catch the front.
I want to know what boat he works on, because if that's not a longshoreman, I don't know what the fuck is.
Well,
I mean, he had an accent and everything.
Like, what boat did he used to work on? Because I'm pretty sure after this going viral, he's going to get fired for saying the C word.
Maybe it's okay in Canada.
Maybe.
You know how many times they dropped the C word in Britain? In Australia?
Right, but that's not Canada, man. That's a whole different ballgame, man.
They are part of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, they are part of the Commonwealth.
So. They're more French than anything, and they apologize all the time.
True.
Yeah,
nonstop.
But no, that was good video there. But yeah, that dude created sea shanties. You can't tell me anything different. Like, he writes sea shanties on his off time.
So Toronto, if you're not going to win, drop the prices of the beer, because he needs it.
I was so mad about it.
He's so mad. And then we're going to go off to the NWSL now. Last year's winner, Orlando Pride, they beat the Chicago Stars 6-0. Just mollywopped Chicago. Washington Spirit, they ended up beating Houston Dash 2-1. And then we have KC Current here. They beat the Portland Thorns 3-1. Surprise, Temwa Chwenga, she scored the first goal. We ended up having 2 Americans scoring, 1 for each team. So we're going to watch here the first goal that we'll watch for KC. Michelle Cooper, she scored the second goal for Kansas City.
Yeah, at least our girls are getting something done. Because good Lord.
Right away. Kansas City looking for more. Cooper! Whoa, what a strike! What a goal. And I spoke. They delivered away.
Let's go a second time.
Kansas City looking for more.
Oh, look at that. Oh, so good.
It was good. It was good. On the other side, kind of a consolation goal here. Olivia Moultrie, she scored the only goal for Portland Thorns. So let's watch that.
Hey, it's rough in those streets without Sophia. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Caitlin Torpy coming up from the back. Some numbers here for Portland. Tina Sagita to Moultrie. One touch. Moultrie puts it away, and Portland gets on the board here in Kansas City.
Yeah, I like how she tried to fake enthusiasm on that.
Yeah.
Oh, they got a goal. They did. They did it.
They did
something. That's a point. Doesn't fucking matter, but it's a point.
They gained a yard. Shout out to little guys.
Yeah.
So, I think Portland's going to struggle a little bit without Sophia Smith. That's the compliment I'm going to give.
Yeah. Is it a compliment? Is it?
You see this?
It sounds like you're trying to take a
That's
picture
the type
of
of compliment it is. You see what that is? What part of my hand it is? Yeah.
No, John Cena, I can't see.
You can see him now. He went heel. That's a different story. Tune in to Ruckus Wrestling tomorrow.
Hey.
There's the plug.
The next game we have here, Utah Royals. They tied Bay FC 1-1. Utah Royals, they got the goal was assisted by the goalkeeper, Mandy McGlynn. And before we watch this, Mandy McGlynn, she's a possible Alyssa Nair replacement. We still don't know who's going to replace Alyssa Nair on the U.S. Women's National Team. We're trying a few people out on different games. Mandy McGlynn, she's one of them. She currently, right now, she has 2 caps for the U.S. Women's National Team, but she gets to add an assist, which goalkeepers rarely ever get to add an assist to a goal. So let's watch.
How high out McGlynn is.
And that's where they're going to try to provoke that press so that you can find the spare player, but it also puts you in
a space. St. George, and they score first. Bianca St. George from goalkeeper Mandy McGlynn.
And with that, the other team in Utah, in Salt Lake, fucking awesome kits.
Yeah.
Ball, the 27-year-olds.
Yeah, here's Louisville.
And in
Oh, sorry. I thought that was the build.
Nope.
I know them.
You know them. They're in green. Yeah, Racing Louisville, they tied North Carolina Courage 1-1. We got another American scoring a goal for Louisville. Emma Sears, let's watch.
Big time Emma Sears there.
The ball, the 27-year-olds. An in-swinger. That one towards the back post. It's met, and it's in.
Nice.
And Racing Louisville have landed the first punch in front of a partisan crowd.
Enough of these lights, folks.
Textbook
That's like
set piece.
seizure-inducing.
Executed
You're
to
basically
perfection.
saying epileptics don't come to our game.
Yeah, pretty much. And we had Seattle Reign and Gotham FC. They also tied 1-1. We had a lot of 1-1 ties in the NWSL. And the last 1-1 tie, that was Angel City FC versus San Diego Wave. And this one, we got another American scoring, Alyssa Thompson. She scored for Angel City. So let's watch.
Look at the space to be had here for Alyssa Thompson and Angel City. Thompson, is this her time? Angel City looking to tie it up, and they do!
Nice 1-1.
Alyssa Thompson strikes for the home side.
Love it, Jen. We spoke about Alyssa Thompson a lot in this game, and Cascarino. Really good play coming in from that right.
Love it, Jen.
Love it. You know, when they see the light, they go for it.
Love it, Jen. So how you guys feeling about your teams? KC, Louisville?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, Louisville rightfully is in this league. You know, it's talking about like we're right there. Like I want our governor, just like West Virginia's governor, be like, this is bullshit. Cincinnati should not be in. We've actually like put money into it to get us the stadium and stuff. And so I'm glad that, you know, Racing Lou, I just need them to get in the playoffs. And you know, obviously Washington is a secondary team because they have the best player in the sport. on that team. There's no debate about it. She is the best player in the league by far. So it's not like she's going to be challenged by anybody.
Yeah.
And Casey, baby.
I mean, come on now. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, with the reigning MVP, I mean, what did you expect was going to be happening with us this year?
Yeah, I don't expect Tim to take off anytime soon.
Yeah.
Take a step back.
And luckily, at least one of our football or association soccer teams are actually doing something. Looking at you, Sporting. Not to be a bad sport, but good God. No. I mean, excited for them. Second year in the stadium, so it's probably going to feel a lot more like home instead of just them kind of getting things set up. Like, I mean, you know how it is. You move.
Yeah.
Your first year, you're just unboxing things. So excited for them in that, and they're definitely going to do it. I mean, they went pretty deep in the playoffs last year. Unfortunately, could not do it, but we'll be looking to make another run this year again. So yeah. Get ready for the current, baby, because there's a wave coming.
And yeah, a lot of people are talking about Orlando and talking about Washington Spirit, rightfully, because they were in the finals last year. But Casey's one of those that are up there. So
that's right. Doubt us. See what happens.
Mm-hmm. That's all I got for soccer.
That's a long seat. A lot of soccer left. A lot of more ties left in that one.
Yes. But ready to light the lamp?
Nashville still sucks.
Yeah, they do. Maybe we'll just go straight to Nashville for talking about the Panthers. Last week, Preds, we said, hey, they won all their games. Josh, how you feeling about them? And you're like, yeah, whatever. Maybe you were right, because this week they lost all their games. So how you feeling about your Preds right now?
We're on to 2026. I mean, it's that I don't know what else to do. Like, we're still on to 2026.
A rebuild year?
We're rebuilding. A lot of people are going to be retiring after this year, as old as we are. So, yeah, they're building a new NFL stadium, much less they're rebuilding the hockey team. So,
we'll see. We'll see. Nashville, Preds.
It is interesting to see our current NFL stadium, and then literally right next to it is they're building the new one. It's just cool. I've never seen something like that, to where it's like, where's the new stadium going to be? Freaking right next to it.
I mean, not the Atlanta Braves now, but their second field at Turner Field is literally right next to their old field, and you parked in the parking lot. They had a wall up for when Hank Aaron broke the record.
Right.
So that was fun. But now they're in a different area of Atlanta.
Are they using the parts from the old one? I mean, because whenever you do that for a car, I mean, you park it right next to each other and just bring over the good parts. So,
I mean, they're not going to be they're going to be playing in the current stadium next season. Like, they're not going to be able to have everything operational, as far as I know. But they probably will, they'll probably take some, here's something that's from the old stadium. They always like to have some memorial type stuff with it. But I mean, the thing is that they literally just took out that parking lot to build the new one. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be tearing down the old one to put the parking lot back.
Yeah, pretty much. Although now it's going to be like slightly farther away from the bridge. That's going to be weird.
Yeah, it will be. That sitting being on a rooftop on Broadway and just looking at like the river and the Nissan Stadium in the background is really cool.
And it being right there, right on the corner too, where it's like you got water kind of both ways, but now it's going to be slightly farther away from the water.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Plus the walking bridge, like as soon as you get at the end of the walking bridge and go down, you're literally taking the logistics of the walking bridge to the stadium was perfect. And now you got to
walk a little farther.
Walk a little bit further. Not too, like literally it's like 2 steps and you're there, but it's still just, it doesn't, it's not like as just as far as the OCD people out there, it's not level.
Perfectly.
It doesn't fit.
They don't match up.
Don't match up.
This is how we keep the goblins away.
But coming back to hockey, Panthers, they did what they needed to do. We beat the Maple Leafs, so that way we can stay on top of the Atlantic Division. So what? We lost our 2 other games this past week. That doesn't matter. We beat the Maple Leafs.
You have Marshawn, you have Bob, and you should win the damn thing.
Yes, yes. So our current leaders right now, Florida Panthers in the Atlantic, Washington Capitals in the Metropolitan, Winnipeg Jets are still at the top of the Central, and Vegas Golden Knights, they're top of the Pacific. So any thoughts on hockey?
Looks like fuck the Jets.
Don't worry, the NFL is going to do that.
Gosh damn Jets.
Yeah. No. No, I mean, like, the Stars are, significantly, well, they're still in second place, but they're a little bit further back now. They had an incredible opportunity Friday to actually kind of turn that tide a little bit when they played the Jets, and unfortunately lost 4-1. So the Jets are what we thought they were, which is really good. Yeah. Really good.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's what I have for hockey. We actually have a few things to get a little weird about. You guys ready to get weird?
I thought we were weird.
Yeah.
I mean, weirder.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. If you're not weird, you're not trying.
Yeah, true. Normalcy is overrated.
Exactly.
Go weird. MLB, they've got some new hats.
So weird.
I think we have a video to show some of the hats, but we're going to show them later in picture form. But let's just tee this up a little bit.
This hat went from $45 to $950 thanks to a little bit of poor logo placement. The vision was to show standard team logos over the city's names. After some online feedback, that MLB realized that the design was not a universal fit for the league. So the league removed the Angels, Astros, and Rangers hats, causing the prices for the hats on eBay to go as high as $950. You might remember when something similar happened with the Team Shadow collection from New Era and the Oakland A's hat. But the other 27 hats remained available on official team sites as of Wednesday morning. This,
as an ass man, I approve of the other hat, by the way.
Yeah, the ass hat it's better than the Tetas hat.
I like to wear Tatas as a hat, but I often act like an ass hat. So it's kind of a little both, a little column A, a little column B.
So we picked our favorites. So they were all like, they just took away some of the bad ones and left the rest up, but I think all of them are off now, and then they're being sold on the secondary market. In that video they said it was at 900 and something. It's gone all the way to 1,000 plus on like eBay and other secondary markets. Like, people really want the Tetas hat. And I've seen on Etsy now people creating the Tetas hat. So there's going to be some non-MLB branded Tetas hats that you'll probably are going to see, especially in Texas, for probably all over the United States. And that's going to be fun. But here's some of our favorites here. We got, as I said before, Boban Marjanovic. Boston is Boban.
Boban. If you don't know who Boban is, look him up. He's hilarious.
He is.
Yeah. Boban is actually from I Love You Man. He's like, how you doing, Boban?
Yeah.
Sorry, what you call me? Boban.
Good callback, that one.
Yeah. It was Jobin, but Boban works.
And I think this one says Tushka's.
I immediately thought of the Chappelle Samuel L. Jackson beers. Like, bitch.
It'll get you drunk.
Me.
I was eating Bob Marlin.
Yeah. I don't not shouting. That's how I talk.
Welcome to Me.
Yeah.
Van Benito. Me.
And then the one that everyone now, as we said, is buying, the one that's basically took these off they had no one that spoke Spanish who created these hats or in the MLB office, because we got the Texas Tetas. And for those that don't know, Tetas means tits. It doesn't mean boobs, it means tits in Spanish. So the Texas Tits.
Yeah, they're the tits, man.
They're the tits.
Hey, I mean, they won it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes two to tango, and there's two in a pair.
Tetas. So, we want you guys. I have a question for all of our fans that watch us because we have so many. Let us know, how much money would you spend on this Tetas hat?
About $3.50.
Yeah, that's about my range right now.
$350 or $3.50?
$3.50.
You do with that what you want, but by $3.50.
Yeah. Mine's $3.50.
Damn, well, that's awesome. But speaking about these, the first thing I thought of was these were all on purpose. I will say that people made these on purpose and not realizing what they made was
graphic
also,
design is my passion.
Yeah,
this
was
is
gold. But the Washington Nationals one year, they accidentally didn't spell out Nationals and it spelled out Natnals. So that jersey also went for a lot of money on eBay when they were out there. But that was more like a lot of times you see like cards or action figures and stuff that were a mistake, but they went out on the market, so they're rare, and the price of them go up.
Any memorabilia, it goes up. So I'm sure there's someone who snatched up and bought a bunch of those hats and is making bank.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I mean, with this, it could be a little bit of a ploy too. Looking at you, NBA, with the Luka trade. Oh, hey, it's a quiet week. No one's really paying attention to us. Let's do something to act out. So I wouldn't put it past the MLB or any professional sports organization who can literally just print money, which is what they did. They printed Tatas in Tata Cell. And now everybody's talking about Tatas, and they will forever be the Texas Tatas. They should change. They should change the Ranger name. I mean, maybe the Tatas, Stranger Tatas. I don't know, something a little mixed with that one. Add an S to T to Rangers. We'll see. But some changes will be had. But I love it. I love the chaos of this.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of more puns, but just don't have it. Don't have it anymore. I think Siska kind of took all the puns with it, so I was like, I have to come up with something. No, nothing worth talking. Nothing worth saying.
Absorbed it all.
Yep.
But you know what you're really good at, Josh? Telling the people where to find us.
Well, the people can find us tomorrow night. Me and Justin Toner will be breaking down the world of wrestling. John Cena spoke for the first time since he turned heel, so we will be giving our thoughts about that, and then. We will be. Have we set a date yet for the book club?
It's always going to be the first Friday of the following month.
There you go, guys. It's like the first Saturday in May. It's never the same day in May, but it's always the first Saturday in May. As far as the Kentucky Derby is concerned, it'll always be the first Friday of the month. The next month, we are doing Dungeon Crawler Carl for all you kids out there. If you want to join us in those book clubs, it's always fun having the Discord members join us for those reviews. So link down below on that. Then we'll be returning Bracket Bitches because the NCAA tournament is up. So get your brackets in. The link down below.
Gotta do it real quick.
Gotta
Gotta finish it now.
Arkansas,
Kansas.
Kansas. But
I like Arkansas. Yeah.
One of the Arkansas's best players got ruled out today. But who knows? Anyway, and then. Like I said, coming in next month, April, will be the NFL draft, and myself and Tushka will be breaking down to get you ready for how that impacts your fantasy draft coming up months from then, but it doesn't matter. It gives us a reason to talk football. So if we can talk football and something be relevant about football, we're going to talk football.
Also complain about being in a dynasty league. Whose idea was that? Whose idea was that?
Both of ours?
Yeah, I know.
Kind of both wanted to do it, then we're in it. We're like, shit.
Just kind of mad.
And I'm just on the sidelines, just listening to them complain every week about it when they're in it, and it's just TV, man. Just like, let me get my popcorn, listen to them talk about their fantasy leagues.
Yeah, get your popcorn. I'll get my tissues.
It's a sad. It's
rough.
It's rough.
Yeah.
But
we love it.
And then, as we do every Wednesday, we will wrap up the world that is sports to give you all of your other nuggets that goes on, not just the Denver Nuggets, but all the other sports nuggets that goes along around the league. Shout out to Joker. That 30-20-20 is still crazy.
That was crazy. I mean, he deserves MVP. Just saying.
Yeah, Lamar did too, but we're not getting into that. No.
I'm not gonna set you off. Instead of setting you off, let's have a moment of zen.
Ooh, that's good.
That's a good lead-in.
Scotland, I thought the Leafs were going to win. 2 games they lost. It must have been the fact that the guys were so overwhelmed at the size of my massive fucking tit. They lost concentration. I am sorry. They let me sit on the bench. That's why they lost tonight. They were overcome by Scottish pheromones. They didn't know what they were doing. I'm really sorry. I came all the way from Scotland. I thought the Leafs were going to win. 2 games they lost. It must have been the fact that the guys were so overwhelmed at the size of my massive fucking tit.
You know what? I'm starting to come around on Toronto. I'm starting to come around on them.
You know what? Canada, you're all right. We like it now.
You've got a guy bitching
Scotland,
about Scotland,
you're all right.
Scotland, you're
all right.
tits. You know, I can get around. Okay.
The Scottish pheromones, man.
Yeah.
They'll get you.
Scottish pheromones.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they're doing.
Grab your spears
Oh, man.
and your massive fucking tits.
Anyways, thank you guys. See you next week.
Now take it easy. Peace.
They let me sit on the bench. That's